Hey guys, this is PoolnationFX. Probably the worst pool game that you could possibly buy. On top of this horribly clunky menu design, there's one big glaring flaw with PoolnationFX. One that I'm about to show you here. And it's the big crux. Watch. Still loading. Still loading. And we are still loading. That took about 4 minutes. As you can see before you, here's the best camera view of how to play PoolnationFX. And unfortunately, it is the best one, and I'm using novice aiming controls. But even with the beginner's controls, getting the pool ball into each of the pockets can be somewhat difficult, if not exactly lined up as you saw before you. Color codes do indicate whether the ball that you're hitting is the correct ball, but with everything being so sensitive, it's hard to get the exact shot. Yes, you can fine-tune things with the added controls using the bumpers or adjusting the power with the triggers, but this does little to help this situation of making that perfect shot. And this clip being from career mode against the brutal AI can be almost detrimental and make the game unfun. Plus, as I'm sure you've been hearing up to this point, the music is so mundane and uninteresting that it almost pulls you out of the experience. Yes, there are plenty of customizable options like different kinds of pool balls, cues, and yes, even the table itself, but they're limited. Sure, you can create your own trick shots using artistic pool, but the interface that I won't even bother to show is clunky and misdriven, almost like the entire game in itself. Sure, this will no doubt be a budget title when it stops becoming free, but it's almost saddening that this game was partnered up with Child of the Light as our free game of the month this month. It's just not that interesting. And outside of the career mode, yes, there's online modes for the game's form of digital cash or for fun, but I doubt you'll have too much frustration playing the actual game to actually have fun online, especially with the loading times that I showed earlier. Games can be done in the span of 5 minutes or so, and that's if you're quick and not trying to time everything out. That's right, by the time I finish talking, a game can be pretty much done. Considering that Cherry Pop Games is a low-ranked developer, I will give them credit for the attempt in seeing that they did get the pool physics sort of right. They just failed in the most important point of it, the controls. Without any fine-tuning using the buttons or any real understanding of the interface, even with assist, the game, as explained earlier, is incredibly difficult. The only reason you're seeing me shoot this good is because of a trial and error situation of me having to put it all together and learning that just flicking the right stick up and applying no power at all is actually more beneficial than actually applying power to the ball by holding down the right stick, can cause the pool cue and most notably the balls to fly off the table in extreme frustration. So my suggestion is don't try it. It's just too bad of an idea. And another thing, turn the music off. You'll be saving your earlobes from stuff like this and the rampant repetitism therein. There's no style, there's no substance. It's very straightforward. But that's the bad thing about PoolnationFX. Just a lack of effort. Period. In conclusion, do not, by any circumstances, actually spend money on this game. It's not a good idea. The game's lackluster graphics, presentation, and most importantly, its controls leave the game less to be desired. Do not waste your time playing this game unless, of course, you're looking for those free rewards points through the reward program. Then burn 10 hours on it. But other than that, this game is completely skippable, and I would recommend probably the much superior looking Pure Pool as an alternative, or go back and find some other pool games on the 360. But as for this game right here, I cannot, by any circumstances, recommend it. So, with that said, find peace in your own Nirvana upload and Xbox Nation, and yes, this will ultimately also be on my YouTube channel. That's Code Equestria. For anybody who doesn't know, I now leave you with the score of this game. Have a fine day, everyone.